two, 1, 2.
Find the shadows cast by rainbows, there you'll meet the sage, feeding rabbits bits of lettuce or cleaning out the cage. He can give you more direction than you ever known, show you your bronze baby shoes now, my how you have grown. Ain't it nice to fly? You're waving as soft clouds go by, but peace won't be still of its own free will. Say you want to go exploring, you got to find some truth. You can't stand one more day of Christians shouting down at you. You say you don't dig politics, that never was your bag. People who could run for office wave their private flags. Ain't it nice to fly? You're waving as soft clouds go by, but peace won't be still of its own free will. Clouds go by, but peace won't be still of its own free will. Over the hill you see the middle of your day, and the sun says it's time for you to go your way. Go and tell your mama that you now know what to do. Her love will come in handy. She's always seen you through. But there's no one here to guide you. You got to do it by yourself. Minutes fail you day by day, and there's really nothing else. Where were you all morning, dodging life inside your heart, never daring face the dangers that attack right from the start? Go and tell your daddy he was right in what he said, 'cause the laws of independence don't apply until you're dead. And though you like him here to push you, 'cause you feel a need for help, minutes fail you day by day, and there's really nothing else. How long must we live inside chains that anchor us to fear? How long must we just sit by when there's really nothing here? It's the middle of your day, yeah. Wake up to the middle of your day, yeah. Why don't you welcome the middle of your day, yeah. What we want to discuss here are roots out of the ghetto. This is called the Get Out of the Ghetto Blues. I know you think you're cool, Lord, if they bus your kids to school. I know you think you're cool just 'cause they bus your kids to school. But you ain't got a thing to lose. You just got to get out of the ghetto blues. if you getting two welfare checks. You done told me you think you're cool because you're getting two welfare checks. Yeah, but you got 10 years to lose if they catch you. Just trying to fight that get out of the ghetto blues. What it is, what it is. My Lord. If you don't get you in the washer, Lord knows he'll catch you in the rinse. I know you think you're cool just 'cause you shooting that stuff in your arm. I've seen you nodding 'cause you shoot that stuff in your arm. And it don't matter which pine box you choose, you got to get out of the ghetto blues. Yeah, 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 yeah. Speed on by, don't seem to have the time. What about this life? What about this life? Can I call mine? Issues in the paper, somehow I'm not concerned. Seems that I've been here before, but I never learned. Children slowly turn. Time spent gone, we never saw it go. tunnels of your youth, now you never smile. Children, learn to smile. Did you hear what they said? Did you hear what they said? Did you hear what they said? They said another brother's dead. They said he's dead, but he can't be buried. They said he's dead, but he can't be buried. Come on, come on, come on, come on. This can't be real. Did you hear what they said? Did you hear what they said? Did you hear what they said? They said they shot him in his head, shot in the head to save his country, a shot in the head to save his country. Hey, come on, come on, come on, come on. This can't be real. Did you hear what they said? Yeah, did you hear what they said? Did you hear what they said about his mother and how she cried? They said she cried 'cause her only son was dead. They said she cried 'cause her only son was dead. Woman, could you imagine if your only son was dead and somebody told you he couldn't be buried? Hey, come on, come on, come on, come on. This can't be real. It's 1972, an election year, and once again, black people are running for their lives. Reasons are things like the King Alfred plan, the concentration camps that were used during the Second World War to house Oriental Americans are now being refurbished to confine their new residents, i.e. black people. Brothers and sisters, there is a place for you in America. This is the King Alfred plan. Ha! Brothers and sisters, there is a place for you in America. Places are being prepared and ready night and day, night and day. The white boy's plan is being ready night and day, night and day. Listen close to what raps say about traps like Allenwood, PA. Already legal in D.C. to preventively detain you and me. How long you think it's going to be before even our dreams ain't free? You think I exaggerate? Check out Allenwood, PA, night and day, night and day. The white boy scheming night and day. The Jews and Hitler come to mind, the thought of slavery far behind, but white paranoia's here to stay. The white boy scheming night and day. What you think about the King Alfred plan? You ain't heard? Where you been, man? If I may paraphrase, the government notice reads, should there at any time become a clear and present danger initiated by any radical element threatening the operations of the government of the United States of America, members of this radical element shall be transported to detention centers until such time as their threat has been eliminated. Code King Alfred. Bullshit, I bet you say. There ain't no Allenwood, PA, and people ain't waiting night and day, night and day, night and day. There will be, without the Motown sound and Thunderbird wallowing in the echoes of Malcolm's words, there must be black unity. There must be black unity, for in the end, unity will be thrust upon us, and we upon it and each other, locked in cages, pins, hemmed in, shoulder to shoulder, arms outstretched for just a crust of bread, watermelon mirages, an oasis that does not exist, conjured up by the bubbling stench, unwashed bodies and unsanitary quarters, concrete and barbed wire, babies screaming, stumbling around in a mental circle because you never cared enough to be black. In the end, unity will be thrust upon us, blanketed, stifled, a salty taste in your mouth from blood oozing from cracks in woolly heads, red pools becoming thicker than syrup, slow down your face, birds matted by the life force sprung loose from wells, well deep by the enforcers of mock justice of the red, white, and blue. In the end, unity will be thrust upon us. Let us unite because of love and not hate. Let us unite on our own and not because of barbed wire death. You dare not ignore the things I say. Whitey's waiting night and day, night and day, night and day, night and day. We want to do a poem for one of our unfavored people, who's now the head of the Nixon campaign. He was formerly the Attorney General, named John Mitchell. Nixon's campaign seems to be out, getting off on a rather hip foot after his trip to China in the name of peace, while they were killing people right across the street, so to speak, in North and South Vietnam. But No Knock, the law in particular, was allegedly legislated for black people rather than, for their destruction. And it means simply that authorities and members of the police force no longer have to knock on your door before entering. They can now knock your door down. It's no knock. You explained it to me, I must admit, but just for the record, you were talking shit. Long rap about no knock being legislated for the people you've always hated in this hellhole that we call home. No knock, the man will say, to keep that man from beating his wife. No knock, the man will say, to protect people from themselves. No knocking, head rocking, enter shocking, shooting, cussing, killing, crying, lying, and being white. No knock. No knocked on my brother Fred Hampton, bullet holes all over the place. No knocked on my brother Michael Harrison, jammed a shotgun against his skull. For my protection, who's gonna protect me from you? The likes of you, the nerve of you. Talk that shit face to face, your tomato face deadpan, your deadpan deadening another freedom plan. No knocking, head rocking, enter shocking, shooting, cussing, killing, crying, lying, and being white. But if you're wise, no knocker, you'll tell your no-knocking lackeys, ha! No knock on my brother's heads, no knock on my sister's heads, no knock on my brother's heads, no knock on my sister's heads, and double lock your door, because soon someone may be no-knocking, ha, ha, for you. No knock, to be slipped into John Mitchell's suggestion box. We get a lot of requests for comments, generally during interviews and etc., about about what people should wear and what people should do, how people should carry on. We'd like to make one small comment on that. The name of the poem is Wiggy, and we'll let the title stand for itself. Here's Wiggy. Still Jemima Dew head ragged, her 1920 man was gagged, undigging how very counterfeit that thing across her mind did sit, Wiggy. Golden blonde, blood red and blue, sizzled, frizzled, and greasy too. Black woman still dig imitation, the mother of our horsehair nation, Wiggy. Chemicalize your nappy top, comb and brush that store-bought mop. Saturday night you storm the block, paint resembling electric shock. Woman, you are laughing stock, Wiggy. Baby, we dig fuzzy heads, cotton soft, not Woolworth lead. Brillo crowns we all adore, as long as we are sure it's yours. I'd like to go into a thing called Ain't No New Thing. It's based on the fact that white people continue to rip off black artists. They continue to steal their material, their styles, the very cultural elements that make the black artist the outstanding artist and master of music that he has been. And it ain't no new thing, to tell the truth, that these things are going on. We point out very expressly the fact that Stanley Crouch comments on his album Ain't No Ambulances for No Niggas Tonight that Chuck Berry was doing like a very heavy thing, a very heavy rock and roll thing, the king of rock and roll as a matter of fact. But like white people couldn't dig having their daughters go to no shows and cream over no black man wiggling on the stage, so consequently they invented Elvis Presley and let him do it. So we want to get into that, call it Ain't No New Thing, and talk about some people. Cultural rape and no geographical boundaries on white hate, and bizarre, scarcely concealed attempts to eliminate black generators of sun heat feeling. Ain't no new thing to see demon fangs curling out from under squeezed tight too thin lips and leaping at jugular veins in burning black throats that either blow or sing or cry or scream. Ain't no new thing to see the bubbling envy flashing from the depths of soulless eyes as still another link with God is created. We used to having white people try to rob us. Why don't they try stealing some of this poverty? Ain't no new thing. Anything they can't understand, they try to destroy. Anything they can't understand, they try to control. In 1896, black men picked up brass instruments and began to evoke and conjure, entice and struggle with black spirits. Rhythmic spirits of blues, work songs, gospel songs, freedom songs, and songs of love of Mother Night. Screaming rhythm juju, rhythm voodoo, rhythm black magic that calls back to lost worlds and lost lifestyles, calling back to lost peace and peace of mind, calling back to Genesis, calling back to the drum, calling back to the drum, calling back to the first song chant that original man created. In 1896, this new spasm was called ass, but the ass would not be kicked. So it was copied in an attempt to control it, and then it was called jazz. We used to having black innovators copied and sent back to us. What about the Osmond Brothers? What about Elvis Presley? What about Tom Jones? We used to having people try to rob us. It ain't no new thing. They use the media to project their jazz idols. Tommy Dorsey and Jimmy Dorsey and Harry James and Benny Goodman, and I suppose someday Lawrence Welk will join that elite group. And then there was sweet Bessie Smith laying on the blood-soaked backseat of that broken-down jalopy with a tattered quilt wrapped around her shoulders, waiting for someone to come to her aid on a rainy Mississippi night, while a white hospital will not accept her right across the street. Ain't no new thing. Fats Navarro screaming through tormenting dreams, frustration ripping at his mind and bowels. Over 100 pounds melted from his frame as he battled that white powder mountain. Ain't no new thing. Cultural rape and no geographical boundaries on white hate hide black musicians away in funky smoke-filled nightclubs, the chitlin' circuit. Saturate their worlds with two-bit punks, washed-out baggy-faced white whores, weasel-faced yellow-skinned junkies, and cutthroat white managers, producers, agents, owners, and on and on and on. We used to having white people try to rob us. Ain't no new thing. We have dug his game. Charlie Parker will live on. John Coltrane will live on. Eric Dolphy will live on. Billie Holiday will live on. Jimi Hendrix and Clifford Brown and Lee Morgan will live on in the sunshine of their accomplishments, the glory of the dimensions that they added to our lives. We declare war on Eric Burden. We discredit the talents of Janis Joplin and Rare Earth. We urge that the next blue-eyed soul group include Melvin Laird, Lyndon Johnson, Nixon, and Spearhead Agnew, and be called As the Stomach Turns. We urge that the album John Wayne Sings the Blues be released. Release the album J. Edgar Hoover Sings James Brown. Release the album Wallace and Maddox Sing Sam and Dave. Why not? We hear Tony the Tiger saying, "Right on, Tiger." We heard Nixon talking about power to the people. It ain't no new thing. 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 America is always the same old shit. I'd like to do a poem called Billy Green is Dead, and what it does is point out that our concern is still rather shallow. Our community mindedness, our community orientation toward each other is still not what it should be. This is called Billy Green is Dead. The economy's in an uproar. The whole damn country's in the red. Taxi fares are going up. You say Billy Green is dead? The government can't decide on busing, or at least that's what they said. Yeah, I heard you when you told me. You said Billy Green was dead. But let me tell you about these hot pants that this big leg sister wore when I partied with the Alphas. What? Billy took an overdose. Well, now, junkies will be junkies. But did you see Gunsmoke last night? Man, they had themselves a shootout and folks was dying left and right. At the end, when Matt was cornered, I had damn near give up hope. Why you keep on interrupting me? You say, my son is taking dope. Call the law and call a doctor. What you mean I shouldn't scream? My only son is taking dope. Should I sit here like I'm pleased? Is that familiar, anybody? Check out what's inside your head, because it never seems to matter when it's Billy Green who's dead. This is called Sex Education Ghetto Style. I was doing it when I was a colored boy of 8 or 9 or 10. I had never heard of Sigmund Freud, but hell, I was doing it then. I was doing it in my teenage years when I was running the ghetto street. Now, I had never seen me no ink blot test, but it still felt good to me. I was doing it when I arrived in college, searching for my degree. But Lord knows a degree wasn't all I got, and that's the way it's supposed to be. I hope that when I have kids of my own, they really don't get shook when I tell them that there are things they got to learn that can't be found in books. This poem is specifically for the master of the tenor saxophone, the immortal John Coltrane. There have been a lot of poems written mentioning Coltrane and the contribution that he made to black music, but none specifically about him that I know of, and none that go into what I consider his greatest piece, A Love Supreme. And I wrote this with A Love Supreme in mind. It's called And Then He Wrote Meditations. Straddling the darkness, he controlled the bucking thrusts and rode on into the emptiness that he alone would try to fill, into the middle to try and be the bridge between spirits. Expand, he screamed. The vacuum was aroused, suspicious and alarmed. Who would dare? But on he rode. The tailwinds were from Africa. The bass and force were timeless rhythms that restructured beat and consciousness. The chasms between seconds were made real and whole. New targets imploded within the void. Holes were punctured through ebony nothingness, and resistance increased. Walls appeared. Rise up, train. The answer is just beyond the next wall. Rise up, train. The answer is just beyond the next wall. The train rose up. No one had ever so thoroughly defied the night. The crosswinds were from the east, lyrical assessments, harmonic sirens that called gut deep into never-seen yet half-remembered desires. Is there a reincarnation, O Lord? Do I recognize a part of me that is dying in the crevices of all these bleached skulls? Lying conception is here. non-existence attacked the man. Go back, intruder, you are not welcomed here. We have no need for your emotion here. We have no emotion here. But obscurity was losing its grip. The inky blackness gave way to gray shadows. The canvas of limbo became a veil, porous and smoking from the heat as rays of light touched upon never illuminated concern. The screams grew louder. The once placid nightmare of soundlessness was crumbling, giving way to cries, go back, go back, go back, and screams of pain and anger. In this place you seek, black traveler, he was asked. In this place we will tear the flesh from your body. Here we will gladly crush your skull and pour acid on your exposed and rotting brain, but we never let you die. We hold you here alone and worst of all aware of all that we do to you. We hold you captive here in hell. But come, said the wind. The threats were not the only sound. The faint throb of warmth that lay vibrating just beyond the horror of hell was a magnet pulling and reaching, drawing him on. Come, hell is past for you, said the wind, and the rhythms of heaven absorbed him. A love supreme, a love supreme, a love supreme, a love supreme. And then John Coltrane wrote Meditations. That's it. It's called And Then He Wrote Meditations, and it's for John Coltrane.